Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. So today, I was going to start with my deck, but before I do that, I've been thinking about making a video about how to manage ourselves in the morning when we wake up after having a great day. In other words, we have a great day and we are feeling really upbeat and we're feeling really positive and we're feeling really good. But then, we go to bed, we wake up, and we just feel disoriented, right? We don't feel as good. And sometimes we can feel even a little anxious or panicky. And inner critic is running amok. So, what to do, in those moments, right? When we go to sleep feeling good, but yet wake up not really in the same space that we were in yesterday, right? So before I go any further, I will pick the top card on my deck and read that and connect it to this topic. So the card says, when you feel pain, simply view it as energy. Let go and give room for the pain to pass through you. Wow, that's beautiful. When you feel pain, simply view it as energy. Let go and give room for the pain to pass through you. So that's beautiful because it makes me think of what I was thinking actually before I picked that deck. But it's beautiful, right? Because it's about energy, right? And what I was thinking was, which is to share, which is something that I do, is when I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling disoriented or off balance, I immediately just breathe. I take like 3 breaths, and then from there, I shift right into just observing. I become the observer of the energy that I'm feeling. So it's interesting that this card, right, should come out because we're noticing, right, that energy. We become the observer. I start to notice, right, what my body's feeling and even my own thoughts. And I observe it as something interesting that's happening, right, within me. That even though it doesn't feel good, right, that sensation in my body at that moment, or whatever sensation you may be feeling, you observe it. And that's it. And if you feel called to journal, then you journal about it. And after you do that, right, and you're done observing it, right, you want to do something that makes you feel more connected, right, to yourself, to your soul. And so a good practice is to remind yourself. You can put your hand over your heart and you could remind yourself that it is okay, right, to have feelings, and it's interesting to observe them, that it's interesting to observe your thoughts, that these are conditioned thoughts, not the truth about you. And if you have a divine belief, then you can affirm, right, God lives and breathes through me. And there's no way, right, that there is something wrong with my soul. It just doesn't make sense. I've been conditioned to think negatively about myself, but it is not my divine truth about myself. Right? And we can say anything else, or we can read something, right, that's uplifting, that picks us up, that grounds us. Anything that brings you back to a center where you are seeing that it is okay to have thoughts and feelings, and they're not your truth, right? They are emotions, not the truth about you, and that these are conditioned like thoughts and feelings, from way back when, right? From our childhood. And they're just following us. That's all. They're still here. And it's just showing us that, right, there's some work that we have to do in order to understand them and be able to release them. But in the morning, right, we just want to ground ourselves and we want to rebalance ourselves so that we can move forward the day without these feelings running amok, taking over, and consuming us, and bringing us into spaces that we don't want to be in. In other words, creating a day that is going to be heavier for us. So instead of doing that, right, we want to balance ourselves. And this card here, basically, it just reminds me of that too, right? Because it is saying when you feel the pain. So in this case, right, I'm talking about emotions, but these emotions do feel sometimes painful because they feel heavy for us. We want to view them as energy. That's right. We want to become the observer of them. It's just something that we're experiencing in that moment. And we do want to let them go and we want to give them room, right? and we want to just give room for the pain to pass, and it will, right? It's a moment in time. It doesn't have to be how we're going to feel all day, and it doesn't have to dictate what our day is going to be like. But in order for it not to do that, we have to do something, right? We have to make that U-turn. It doesn't just go away on its own. And even if we just say, oh, I'm not going to think about that, and jump out of bed and go about our day, it's there and it's too present. And it will take over. In other words, there'll be this residual effect because it's still there. So we have to do something to shift. Okay, so before I end, I'll also pick a word from my bag of words and see what else I'm inspired to share that I can add to this message. Oh, beautiful. First word, believe. Okay, believe, perfect. I love that because, right, we want to believe in something more than just what our inner critic is telling us, than our old conditioned programming. We want to believe, right, in something bigger and more expansive than just our limited experiences and our limited conditioning. And when we do believe that we are more than just, what our inner critic is saying, right? That there is good to us and that we are divinely connected, right? A deeper shift happens and our inner critic is no longer dragging us throughout the day. Instead, right, our grounded self is guiding us, right? That part of us is guiding us throughout the day, and we're able to not only have better experiences, but to really rebalance ourselves, because, we can also leave the house feeling grounded and then get to a destination and have certain experiences there and then, get thrown for a loop again, right? Or be activated and triggered. But when we feel that, right, we have that morning experience that we can use to anchor us throughout the day. In other words, we can do something also that grounds us by merely just even reminding ourselves, right, of what we told ourselves early in the morning, or what we read, or what we used to ground ourselves, right? That was positive, that we affirmed, that we learned from in the morning, and use that to anchor us throughout the day. So believing in something bigger and greater than our old programming and conditioning, and something bigger and greater about our soul and our divine inheritance and ability to be able to shift from a limited mindset into a more expansive mindset. So I'm going to end with that. I hope this video has helped you in some way. If it does, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to exchange energy with me, please feel free to share this video to support it so that it can be circulated more. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.